You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the September 24th meeting for the Michigan City Budget Workshop. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Good evening, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Michigan City Finance Committee Budget Workshop. I welcome all the department heads and council members and the controller's office. And I'll just do a roll call for the Finance Committee. Mr. Beatrice.
Present.
Tracy Tillman, present. Dr. Cora, he is on his way. I will acknowledge him upon his arrival. So we do have a quorum in regards to this evening budget review. I also like to address that the mayor held a workshop with the Common Council on September 11, 2025 at 5:30. She presented the proposed 2026 budget. So there was a workshop held September 11th, 2025 at 5:30 where the mayor presented the proposed 2026 budget. That proposed 2026 budget is before us this evening for the Finance Committee to review and to make any form of recommendation. And even though I requested all department heads to be here all at one time, based off of the information that we've obtained, your question and answer forms that have been filled out and that was provided to the mayor as to how she derived with the controller the budget. So we do have access to a few of those, which are those right there. And so as I call your department up, I ask that you would come up to the table before us, and if we would have any questions, we will pose those at that time. Please state your name and the department that you are with. Also, with this meeting for the 2026, again, it is the review of all proposed salary and hourly pay increases. With the budget that was provided the proposed budget that was provided to us from the mayor, as it was stated when she presented this, that the City of Michigan City employees, there will be a 2% pay increase for all city employees. With that being said, I'd like to start off with, we have boards and commissions. Do we have anyone here for boards and commissions? We do not. Due to that, there are no representatives here for any of the boards and commissions. For example, the Historic Preservation Review Board, the Human Rights Public Art Committee, Tree Board.
Shanda's right here.
Is there anything that you would like to add, Ms. Eason? There are none. There are, to my knowledge, Mr. Beatrice, do you have any recommendations or any comments from any boards and commissions?
Well, I wasn't sure how you were going to do this. I may have, but I have them back in here. I'd have to go find each one of these and look to see if I made a notation there.
Okay.
That's going to take some time. Unless you can tell me the page they're on.
So the pages, which one would you like to discuss?
Well, we better look at all of them.
The Historic Preservation Review Board?
What page is that on?
That's on page 26.
Tracy, question. I'm sorry, Dr. Lacy.
This is not for a public comment. This is strictly for the City Finance Committee. And so what happens is we have the department heads to come forth and we address and communicate back and forth in regards to the budget.
This pertains to the boards and the committee.
Yes, if there's one of the boards on here that receives funds from the city, then if that chair or president is present, then they can address.
Okay, I can.
Yes,
I don't have any.
Historical board doesn't have anything budgeted for 26.
okay.
I don't have anything on historic preservation. What lines are these other places on?
Can I make a comment really quick while we're on historic review as the liaison to that board? Every once in a while, those meetings, we have a conversation about it would be nice to have like $500 to work with. So I don't know, just going forward in the future, something, a pittance would be fine.
You talking about 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Beatrice, I guess I could give you the page numbers as she, I mean, human rights, I mean, most of these boards only have, with the exception of, public art, which Shannon can cover. Port Authority, separate entity altogether. UEZ, we have nothing at all,
Right.
no budget, no financial anything with them. The Veterans Commission is a voluntary commission, we don't pay them, they don't have a budget, nor Youth Leadership Commission. Human Rights, the Tree Board has a small budget, and Tree Board 117. Tree Board is on page 34. Page 34. Oh.
No, I didn't have anything on that, but I did have one on Board of Works.
Board of Works.
13?
Yeah, that's, yeah.
What page is that?
Board of Works is
13.
on page 12 through 13.
Looking for us is under tabs.
Yeah, you got to have, you know,
Tab 3, page, what number must be?
13.
It's page 13.
What,
My,
12 and 13.
yeah, you're right. On page 12, under professional services, other, we've got, in past years, we've been around 5,000 to 6,000. This year, in the,
Wait.
You're talking about, okay, that's the audit cost? Is that what you're looking at?
I'm looking at the 105,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and now it's, the budget actually has 75,000, and that's a probably a high estimate. And I'm just for the audit.
For the audit
For
fee.
the audit, we need a budget for our audit fee.
Okay,
So
well,
that's what that is.
well, let me ask you, I'm embarrassed of myself for not answering this question earlier. We got a 2026 department
Yes,
budget, and to the left is a 2026 controller mayor
correct.
line. What's the difference between the two of those?
Departments make requests, so departments admit what they think they should have, what they want for their budget.
Well, then you
The
play
mayor,
with it.
controller.
Ah, okay. So the one I should be,
We wanted to show what the department's requests were compared to what they.
but the important one is the second column.
Yeah.
Controller mayor column.
Yeah,
Correct.
That's the mayor's.
Because that's what the mayor's recommending.
Correct.
Yep.
Okay, so I don't have a question with that line then, because the mayor brought it back down to 75. Now, on page 13, department requested 1,500 for printing, advertising, and the mayor's recommending 3,000.
Yes. Gary cut our budgets last year, which is, we're cut too much. So we're raising them back up to make sure we're able to cut.
And a lot of this too is because now the responsibilities are under the Board of Works as opposed to some of these things were under the clerk's office.
Yes.
So we had to move some, Isabel
Yeah.
does a lot of printing and yet, so now she does a lot of the work that the,
That Gail used
that
to do in
the
her
Gail
office.
used to do in her office with her
Oh,
deputy.
okay.
So we had to move some money over there because that was kind of done, and you gotta realize the budget is set before, and some personnel changes and some departmental changes could happen after the budget's set. So now we know who Board of Works is now handled by Isabel in the mayor's office.
So that will go up, but we can look at the clerk office and it will go down.
Correct, that's what we had to.
Okay, I saw that too. Now, explain the 8,000 then for printing and advertising and publication of legal notices. Is that because,
That's also the same thing. This is legal notices that we have published in the paper.
it used to be done by the clerk?
Yes.
Okay, and now they're done in the mayor's office.
Advertise, put stuff in the.
Okay, I'm okay with those then. Commission for, then you're saying these other, where's Port Authority?
Port Authority.
We don't do Port Authority.
Port Authority.
We don't do, like, you're not.
Okay.
Right, that's correct.
Where's Planning Commission?
Planning Commission.
In the planning.
Well, the Planning Commission itself doesn't have a budget,
Right. That's not on here.
except for salaries, which are included in the planning budget.
When we get to,
Yeah.
Well, so why are they even on here then? in this category?
My doing.
Why are they even in there?
I don't. I did
Okay.
those out.
I'm okay with that one, I'm okay with that one. Okay, all right,
Okay.
I'm okay with that, I'm okay with that. Go ahead. You wanna go with the attorney?
So next we'll have up, the attorney department. That is page 27 and 28.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Amber LePage, Stellbrain Corporation Counsel.
Okay. You can,
I was okay with that.
okay, and then that was.
Other than the anticipated 2% increase, if I can just have the floor, there's no other changes to my budget. I'm not asking for
Yeah, I
anything.
saw
Nothing's
that.
changing, so it should be about the same as last year, except for that 2% increase in salaries.
Yeah, I didn't see anything on my list either, so I'm good with that.
Okay. I would stand that there are no recommendations, for the attorney department, that the proposed budget for the attorney department, our recommendation that we accept as presented for the 2026 budget.
Okay, thank you.
Next, we have the city common council department budget.
What number is that again?
That is on page 11. So, yes. So with that, the proposed for the city council would have been included with the 2% increase as well. However, I don't know if there's going to be any recommendations from the finance committee. And should there be any additional recommendations moving forward at the next upcoming council meeting, then any council person have the discretion to make an amendment on that ordinance for the 2% increase for the city council's salary of the 2%. Are there any recommendations from the council?
Yeah,
Regarding the
I
council?
thought Dr. Carr would be here, and I'm assuming he's going to recommend that the council be paid the same amount they were paid in '25 or '26, and forego the 2% increase, because he made that motion out of order, I guess, and I seconded it out of order. But I would recommend that we forego a 2% increase. Maybe when he gets here, we can discuss that again, but
Then the recommendation will stand, that there is a recommendation to forego the 2% for the city council salary
When do we get a chance to comment on that?
at the council meeting.
Is that, I can,
Oh, okay. And that is Fund number 1101, Department 104. Remove 2%. Next, we have Human Resources, Director Henderson.
remember we looked at that.
That is on page 18 and 19.
I had a question.
Yes. If you would please state your name.
I'm Melissa Jones Henderson. I'm the Director of Human Resources.
I have a question. On page 18, I'm looking at the rental equipment line for the last 3 years, we haven't had any expenditures out of that. We're recommending a $2,500 for this year.
Yes, copy machine. We didn't have a copy machine. We're sharing the copy machine now with CDBG.
Oh, okay, so that's your cut of the, well,
Yes.
okay, I'm okay with that.
Do you have any other concerns in regards to that? If there are no other recommendations for human resource, then the finance committee accept the proposed budget as
Can I ask a question? Yes.
This is not public comment.
So what do I get to do here today?
It's not public.
It's not, this is for department heads. So because you are a part of the council body, to be present to know what information, if there's any reduction in the budget that was proposed to us, we can only reduce the budget. We cannot increase the budget. As far as comments go, it actually comes from the finance committee to the department heads. But so that it's open for the council members to be present, because this is going, our recommendations is going to come before the council at the next council meeting.
Okay, thank you for that clarification.
So when is his opportunity to give input then at the meeting?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you gotta hold that comment that you wanted to make until the meeting.
You had a question?
What's the question?
Well, I got several questions, but I don't want to start off with one if I can't get them all off.
I agree.
And then- Go ahead, sir.
This is cool.
No,
Go ahead, what's up?
What is employment testing?
So that's for all of our drug testing, whether it's random or whether it's pre-employment. All of our employees who are in safety-sensitive positions have to have a drug test.
And I'm taking it, that's not one test, that's for 22,000.
That's for everybody that comes through the city. So we do randoms monthly. If you're FTA, if you're a bus driver, you do tests quarterly, and they send us a list of individuals to be tested every month. That can be 4 people, it can be 10 people. It's whatever they send us because it's at random. We don't make the selection, and outside service makes the selection.
Thank you.
Madam President, if I may.
Councilman Nelson still has, you said you have,
Well, yeah, for each department.
Oh, okay.
but Yeah, that's all I have.
that was all you have for that?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
No, I know that you pointed out before we got started that this was just for department heads and that nobody else could ask any questions, correct? That's what the directive was. And I know that Councilman Nelson had this question, but I know, we may all have some questions on, things here and there, but not 1,000 questions. My point is that at the council meeting, you said that we can comment on them or question a cut, but the point of the fact is gonna be that a lot of these department heads aren't gonna be at the council meeting, and we won't have time to directly ask them a question, if I'm correct, right, Councilman Nelson?
They will,
So, I'm just saying, if there's 1 or 2 questions,
If
I don't see the harm of a council
if I
member
may interject,
asking a,
if I may
question.
interject, from prior finance budget hearings that I've held and sat in this position and as a committee person, department heads are normally still asked to be at that hearing, at the council meeting. I'm just saying.
Well,
So,
that's good to know, because I was under the
That's well.
impression that potentially, if they do this portion, they necessarily have to come to the city council meeting. So they are
No,
not
no.
necessarily required, but.
because if they want to know what the outcome on that vote is,
Correct.
I would think they would want to be present to know. But due to unforeseen circumstances, they may not be able to attend. Then that's understandable.
well, I guess my point is, if we just have like 1 question to ask.
I understand
Is
what
that
you're saying,
permissible?
Councilman Prisbalinski, yes.
Okay,
Yes, you're welcome.
All right, I'm glad we cleared that up.
Moving on. Next week, if there are no more questions for Ms. Henderson, or do you have one more?
No, no, I only had that one.
Okay. Well, Ms. Henderson, I would like to thank you for your time, and as it stands that there are no recommendations for the Human Resource Department, that the recommendations that we accept the proposed budget as presented. Thank you, thank you. Next, we have the Controller's Office, and that is going to be on page 6 and 7. Thank you.
I'm okay with that one.
Do you have any recommendations or questions for the Controller's Department? Are there any questions from the council members? There are none at this time. Then there are no recommendations for the Controller's Department. The Finance Committee will accept the proposed budget as presented. Clerk's Office.
Page,
Is there any representatives here for the Clerk's Office? That is on page 8 and 9. Are there any recommendations from the committee?
well, I'm looking for a decrease in printing. Oh, it did go down from 5 to 3. Okay,
Yes.
okay. Good enough.
Dr. Court, did you have any recommendations? There are no recommendations from the committee. Are there any comments from the council? If there are none, the clerk's office proposed budget will be accepted as presented. Mayor's office, page 10. Do we have any representative here for the mayor's office? I do know that the mayor is at a prior engagement. She will be attending at a later time this evening.
And the chair, the mayor was at the Unity Foundation
Yes.
reception for Maggie, so she was going to make some comments and then come back.
Yes, she conveyed that to me as well.
Can we come back to this then? Because I've got some
Yes, we
questions.
can.
When she gets here? Okay.
Moving along, next we have aviation on page 77 and 82. 77 through 82.
Won't take it if you have it.
Hello, Jessica Ward, manager of the airport. I know everybody knows me, I just want to make sure I said hi. Hi.
And Jessica, have there been any changes to your department as far as needing additional staff or reduced staff, equipment? How are things going in regards to fuel?
Sure. So I did have staffing changes. It's not really a reduction or an addition, but we did change one of my part-time laborers to a seasonal laborer this year. So that's kind of a change, and we did that just to, you know what I mean, save money for the city where we could. Last year, we had a seasonal for the first time. This past summer, he's still with us, and it worked out awesome. And so I really like that this past summer, and then the summer before that, we had an intern too. With, you know, Keela does the internships. And so we had an intern out there too. And it worked really well to have a seasonal. They just do mow grass, weed whack, things like that as a laborer. But they don't like fuel airplanes or anything like that. So it's still a safety sensitive position. They're like by the runway and stuff, but they're not fueling airplanes because you can't teach that in a short amount of time for a seasonal. So. So for that, equipment, I'm good on equipment. I didn't have any requests at all for equipment. And I don't remember what else you asked, but there's really no substantial changes at all to my budget, so,
Yeah.
besides decreasing for the seasonal.
Yeah, you're pretty much the same all the way across, but, and this is probably a question for you guys over here. it's easy to, it was easy for me to do some comparisons on the budget requests by going from year to year, from, what is it, 23 across, and looking for any aberrations anywhere. But it's real hard for me to look down at the transactions things. I don't understand, I don't know what we're doing here. It's like number of units, cost per unit, total amount. There's some pretty hefty amounts on the far right hand.
Yeah.
But I have no way of knowing whether that makes sense, given last year and the year before.
Well,
The transactions usually will break down to the actual first column. So if 2026 for salaries has 60,960.
Well, go to 81, go to page 81. And look at the last section. ABS Pest Control, All Points Fire, AWS.
Yeah, the total of those transactions.
we always ask each department, and Jessica actually has got transactions for a lot more than what she really, which is great.
And I put those in on purpose. I put the transactions in so you know what I'm spending the money on, because it makes it easier for you guys to know what I'm doing. And so that's why I put them in. And so I have probably a lot more than.
Yeah, and I think it helps Jessica to know when she looks back at her budget, oh, this is.
Okay, so that's unrelated to this.
Right, because this is different. This is a different line item. These are all different line
Okay.
items.
And transactions
So down here,
only
this
are
is just for
displaying the
contractual
2026 budget.
Okay,
So you're
Right.
seeing the
2026
summary line
budget
for
here.
all the prior ones.
So
But
it's just to break, the transactions is just a breakdown of what
Is the
the
only ones
total
that
is.
are, otherwise you would have, I think.
so if this makes sense coming across this way,
The transactions are.
They are
only
the same.
They only represent this number. It
okay,
doesn't show you the transactions for that 12,017. It's only showing you the
Okay.
transactions for the year we're
For the
working.
current budget.
for the
okay,
current
so
budget.
like, if I look up here and I can follow across to here,
Yes, in
if
26, they
I have no
asked.
problem there, I have no problem here.
Right,
I got it.
yep.
And especially in contractual services, that, and many times in a lot of departments, that is a large number. So we ask each department to please detail them so that we know what makes up that large number, because contractual services can be large. And then it also helps us when or even now, when we're paying bills, oh, yes, we budgeted for it, where did we budget? Oh, it's right here, and we see it, because this budget worksheet then is really incorporated in our ledger too. So we can actually look back and say, oh, yes, we did budget for this, and it's in that line item. So in contractual services, you will see detail along with salary, so that we can detail how many employees and what they make per hour and/or a salary amount.
Well, I think the important thing is what you just told me, that if I don't have an issue with the column above where you're looking at year by year comparisons, then I have no issues with what's below, because
Right, unless you just want to know what.
it just gives the detail of where
Correct.
the expenses were. Okay,
Correct.
that's good.
Correct.
I'm okay.
Did you have any recommendation, Dr. Cora? Did any other council members have any recommendation? Councilman Nelson?
For other revenue, miscellaneous collections, it looks like it has decreased by 4,000.
Could you indicate what page you're on, sir?
17,
77?
I'm sorry, 77.
Okay.
77?
Yep, other revenue.
It's the red.
Oh, those are the state share revenues you have? Which line item? What?
Well, I'll go with the last 6 numbers, 369000.
Oh, miscellaneous other.
It's just it would just kind of be a catch-all of just miscellaneous revenue that Jessica might, and so it's kind of, I think we look at what we did, we increased it a little bit from the year before, because if you look at 2023, we actually budgeted 8,500, and then maybe an actual, it's just miscellaneous revenue that Jessica might be able to.
And that, if you're asking me a question, that's actually for, we have a farmer that farms our land that is south of Highway 20. And so that's the amount that they pay the airport to farm the airport property. So that's what that amount is. And so there's nowhere to stick that, so I just threw it in miscellaneous, so, but that's what that 4,400 is.
Question. Thank you.
Yeah.
A general question, I guess. When it comes to like what they request a budget and what they actually use, like is there any way of ever seeing that? Like if they project 5,000 but they only use 3,000?
Sure. You could get a budget performance report, we could run an
That's
actual
considered
report.
budget.
Yes. Yes, they run a budget performance every month or.
Yeah.
Just not them in
every
particular, just in general for anybody.
Yes.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions from the council? There are none. There are no recommendations from the Finance Committee. The Finance will accept the aviation's proposed budget as presented. Thank you. Cemetery Department budget. That will be on page 171 through 178.
What she said, 170?
171 through 178.
Oh, yeah, that is low. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
So if there's any questions, we will direct those to the controllers staff. Okay. Are there any questions or comments from the committee?
No, I didn't have that flagged.
There are none. Are there any comments or questions from the council? If there are none, then the Finance Committee will, for the Cemetery Department, will accept the proposed budget as presented. Engineer, that is on page 31.
Good evening.
Good evening. If you will, please state your name for us.
Tim Warner, City Engineer.
Page 31.
Tim Warner, City Engineer.
Are there any recommendations or questions from the committee?
I have one question.
Yes, Dr. Corr.
Mr. Werner, in the salaries, like compared to last year, there is a significant increase. Have you been adding staff? I'm talking about personnel services. Like last year's amended budget was 139,216, and this year it's 197,600.
No, you're looking at the wrong, you gotta look under controller mayor. It's 132, not 197.
Go back to
This is what it
Okay.
what we could, this is 2026, there was another present budget.
I thought. To get
That's what's
me in as assistant.
Right.
But that was shot down right away.
No further.
Are there any questions from the council members?
Yeah, I have a question. Under the 2025 budget, under the total, it was $298,281. And for the 2026 department budget, it's up to $600,000. So there's like a double of $300,000.
But
And is there an explanation for that?
We moved some, because now Tim's here, we moved some money from Board of Works. So now if you look under repair and maintenance of equipment,
Under what?
under repair and maintenance equipment, it's on page 31. Now we're having the engineer look at those and approve them. So we moved those expenses from Board of Works under the engineering budget So for an approval, because he really, the engineer should be looking at these charges and approving them. So it's just, they're both in the general funds, we just moved those expenses into the engineering budget. They weren't in there in 25, 24, or 23.
All right, so they're going from the Board of Works budget into the engineering
Yeah,
budget.
correct.
Yeah, for approval.
For approval. 'Cause this way, when we're looking, if we get a copy of the bill, oh, it's in, then we want to route it to Tim for the engineer for approval first.
And the amount really isn't 600,000, it's 500,000.
Right.
100,000 less.
I got 600,000.
200,000, yeah.
Yes.
You gotta look at the column to the left,
Yeah.
the controller mayor column.
Oh,
Yeah.
I made that same
Okay.
mistake.
So it only makes it 200,000 instead of 300.
That's whatever I can get.
Are there any other questions or comments from the council? There are no recommendations from the finance committee. The finance committee will accept the proposed budget as presented. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening, everybody.
You as well. Next, we have planning and inspection, and that is on page 15 through 17. 15 through 17.
So y'all should probably do, since Dave is coming up there, you should probably do those pages and page 36 and 37.
Okay.
Hey,
36 and 37.
36 and 37.
Just for clarification, the planning department is now, has been separated into two departments
Right.
in our budget. So if you look at 106, Department 106,
Okay.
for 2025, the numbers are higher. Department 127, which is the second set of pages I said you should look at, that's the new department that we created. So we basically split. So Department 127 had nothing previously, it's just existing this year.
Okay.
So it's really not an increase at all, it's really a split of the department.
So the planning and inspection for 2026,
Yes,
I'm looking at for salary and wages and regular salaries and wages, $227,036. And then when I get to Department 127,
it's right. It has all of the code enforcers, all of the.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
thank you for clarifying.
Mhm.
On page 36, at the bottom, under communication, transportation, travel expenses, and then repair and maintenance, why are those so high when we had nothing last year?
Again, this is a new department, there was nothing actually in any of these funds for this department. So last year they had no expenses, and now we have, which Dave could probably explain better than me, but they're travel expenses that we want to cover.
Yeah, well, there are, so as far as miscellaneous auto repairs, we've purchased the vehicles that were being leased, and so we will now be responsible for all maintenance on those vehicles, as well as the additional vehicles that we've come by from, that have been retired from other city departments that our inspectors are having to use. So that's where the 10,000 for the miscellaneous auto repairs. As far as the communication, transportation, travel expenses, some of these larger projects that we're going to be bringing in, we will most likely be having to hire third-party agencies to help with inspections, and they will have travel that will need to be reimbursed for. So that's intended to cover that expense.
What line item is that?
That
Is it on
is
page 36?
36, yeah, it's the communication, transportation, travel expense.
Okay, I see it.
So are the budgets for, it was coming to this department, where was it last year?
Everything's all in 106 last year.
But they leased it, now they purchased their leased vehicles, so now they need to repair, so they didn't have repair costs on their leased vehicles now. Okay, okay.
So we're assuming that we're gonna have these expenses, not just for the car, but also for people that we're gonna have to do like contracted services to come in here to do the work on
Yes.
big projects.
Yeah, potential travel reimbursement expense.
To the company that come, I'm sorry.
Yes. Correct.
What was our estimate based upon?
Rough numbers, suggestions from the consultants that we've been speaking with to cover an entire year.
Can you give me an example on who we'd have to hire some?
Yeah, so for example, with the work going on out at Royal Road, for example, there's going to be a fast track project that's going to require a lot of inspections. It would overwhelm our department. We wouldn't be able to handle it in addition to providing a level of service to the rest of the city. So there are a couple of consultants that we're currently working with and getting proposals nailed down from. It's Envoy, they're out of Indianapolis. We're also reaching out to a couple others as well. But they would be providing those inspection services for us as a third-party inspection agency in lieu of having to hire full-time inspectors within our department on city payroll.
So it would be volume, not expertise? Is that what you're saying?
It would be a high level of expertise as far as and with some of these larger projects that we're having to perform double the amount of inspections compared to previous years, or quadruple in some instances, we need assistance. We're going to need help to be able to keep up. So some of these expenses in here are to cover that and anticipate that.
Which would then allow you to continue with the daily inspections throughout the city.
Yeah, our department, I mean, since March, we've issued 200 permits per month, and that's been pretty steady on average. And so 200 permits. So with that, you have 2 to 6 inspections maybe per permit, sometimes even more. So if all of our resources were tied up on some of these much larger projects, the rest of the city would suffer. We wouldn't be able to keep up with all of the demand. So that's why we're having to look at bringing in a third-party consultant to provide those inspection and sometimes plan review services for some of these larger projects. So we're anticipating, the Royal Road. There's a couple other, the Fifth and Pine, SOLA. This will require us to contract with those. Now, some of those things will be baked in with the permit fees for those upcoming projects that haven't released yet. But the Franklin, at 1010 Franklin Street, for example, they're going to require additional inspection services, most likely too, that we'll have a hard time keeping up on and not delaying their project. So again, it's about being able to provide the adequate amount of service to the city and to these other projects without having to find, which is very difficult. We've been trying for months to try to hire additional inspectors and everything. Really, the best course of action is to go out to a third party and have them help from a plan review standpoint, and also from an inspection standpoint. You have a high level of expertise, and in most cases with these new projects, the permit fees will cover that expense. But there will be some others where we may have to bring them in. Right now we have our building commissioner and then 2 part-time inspectors. That's all we've been able to find, and it's hard to keep up. So we need to set aside a pool of funds to be able to, if we need to bring in that third party on some of the regular, day-to-day, inspection operations that we need to do.
Okay, I get that part. I agree with you on that. I can see where that would be an issue, and I don't want to get behind on inspections and on any other projects. And I can see where the big ones could take more of your time, and then some of our local guys are complaining that they're not getting inspections.
Correct. Right.
I think we just need to keep an eye on this. And as a finance committee, and maybe every couple months or so, take a look at this category and see where we're at.
Okay. Could we also, be informed or notified when you do obtain that third party, or when that occurs?
Sure. Yeah, that's no
That
problem.
will be, okay. Did you have anything?
Does the Board of Works look at that if they're
Well,
looking?
because they're gonna have a contract, yeah. And we have to see all that, so we gotta have to go through the regular
Okay.
process, yeah.
Are there any, questions from the council?
I just have a comment. Yeah, the 15,000, and I know that you have to get inspections done on these big projects, and you only have 3 people right now in your inspection department. One of them is the building commissioner that's out checking on roofs and permits and all this other stuff. So that leaves you, 2 part-time individuals?
Right.
And I don't think you can, I don't feel that you can get the job done professionally, and you're gonna need the help. So
Right.
I don't have any problem with the $15,000.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. And we're still going to look for additional inspectors that we can bring on part-time under the city umbrella, but we need to hedge against the fact that that may not happen as quickly as we would need them.
Are there any other comments from the committee? If there are no other comments, the finance committee do not have any recommendations. We will make the recommendation to accept the proposed budget as presented. Thank you. Next up, we have Police Department budget, page 43 and 47.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. Chief Shaparsky dressed up for the event. Dave Cooney, Chief of Services with the Michigan City Police Department.
Kyle Shaparsky, Chief of Operations, Michigan City Police Department. Nice seeing everybody.
Good evening. So, if you look in your packets too, okay, you have yours.
Yeah.
If you look at it's you find it. This is the budget questionnaire. So I would just like to go over the budget questionnaires for the police department. The questions that was asked, if they have any substantial changes to their budget, the response was no. Do they have any unfilled positions in your department that are included in your budget? And the response was yes. What are those positions? One full-time officer, 2 pending retirement for August 2025. Administrative assistant, 3 records, part-time animal control officer. They were also asked, are you requesting to create any new positions in your department? The response was no. What equipment is needed for your department to fully operate? Fleet rotation, $500,000 to purchase. Women locker addition, $12,000 to purchase. And gym equipment replacement, DEA funds, $20,000. The question was asked if the police department had any outstanding ARPA funds to spend. They have pending the kennel expansion of $110,000 and any new technologies that requires annual subscriptions and/or expires in 2026. And they listed resource routers, $49,500 per year, 3-year contract. Gray Key license, Celebrite extensions for phone processing, $1,074, and Lexpol continuation of $26,000. Would that be accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
You missed the big one.
Which one was that?
The Flock, Safe City, 277,000, 10-year contract.
Oh, the fine print, okay. That is correct. As Mr. Beardry indicated, the Flock Safety City to keep all cameras and shot detections at trailer, 2 first responder drones, added technology, $277,000, and that is a 10-year contract. Are there any questions from the committee?
No, it looked like it was pretty much
Yes, very
Static.
detailed. Are there any comments or questions from the council? Any comments or questions from any council members? And as of right now,
Yes, I would. Did you say with the Flock, it said added trailer in there?
No.
Did I hear that?
it is the Flock Safe City, keep all cameras and shot detections, add trailer. And if I'm not mistaken, is this the one that can be
Yes.
moved around through the
Correct.
city or positioned wherever you feel that you all see that it needs to be? Yes. Yes.
Did we get copies of the questionnaire?
But we have extras, yes, right here, if you need them.
That was on.
It's not for all departments, that is just what was chunking in. Okay. Yes, Councilman Nelson.
Other charges and services,
May I ask what page, sir?
is 48.
Okay. 48.
I think that's the police commission, so that might be something different. Okay, moving right along.
But if you have a question, if it's regarding the police commission, would you be able to speak on that?
Do the best I can, sure.
Just an increase as far as contractual services and other services, just what were it?
So the from the 25 to 26, you're talking about the other services, contractual services at the bottom?
Can you pass?
439
Yeah.
090.
That would be the, I'll look at it and figure it out for you. I don't have the answer right now. I think it's for the promotional exam and then our oral interviews. It's for the testing that we do. It's somewhat expensive. I think that was what the increase was. And we'll have to do that next November, so it's just planning for that. Yeah. But I'll confirm that for you, for sure.
Question.
Yes.
The camera tower or whatever, yeah, how much is that? I'm looking for it in here.
It's all one big package now. Again, same thing. I can get you the price list for you.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just glad to see that the police department and the mayor jumped on board to get that, because I know when we had our session here with the department, and that was one of the recommendations that I brought up after we were having trouble down at the park. So I'm glad that that's going to be purchased, and we'll be able to use that not only down there, but anywhere in the city where we deem it needs to be used. Okay, thanks. Very good.
Mr. Nelson?
Okay, fleet rotation, $500,000. What do y'all do with the old rotation? What happens with?
So we still have about a dozen 2013, 14, and a couple 16 like Ford Explorers. They're just at the end of their life. So what we'll do is we usually trade them in to get a little bit off, and then we try to just get as many vehicles as we can with what amount is given to us. So.
And that's normal rotation, that's normally what happens? As far as in the past, what compensation have we gotten from?
It all depends what the dealership is willing to do, or if sometimes we have released those vehicles to other city departments if they're still in decent shape for not patrol duties, but other duties, like we have given them to other departments. So it all depends, you know. that kind of thing, so.
Can I interject a little bit? Because first of all, that, for the last how many years you guys been leasing
Yeah.
vehicles? So we've been covering the expense for the leased vehicles, and they're in the process now of buying those out. And the cost of one vehicle to be completely ready to go.
All depends, but typically it's 60 to 65,000. And of course, unfortunately, that price always goes up, so.
So I think we bought 8 vehicles, I know this year, you know, like buying out leases completely, because they've spent a lot of money in the last at least 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Just leasing the vehicle. So last year and this year, and I think going into next year as well, the goal is to buy out the rest of the leases so that they then can get a real rotation going on vehicles that are ours. So that expense, that 500,000 sounds like a lot, but for what they're trying to do to get back to normal, it makes sense.
You said normally 60 to 65 per?
Because it's the cost of the vehicle and then the outfitting as well, so the lights and the interior radios and just everything, you know, again, is expensive. We are doing something new. We have a few officers that are getting trained to do some of the installs themselves, and that could save us a lot of money. For just labor alone is double the cost of the equipment to outfit it. So we're hoping that some of these officers can handle that on their own to save us some money. So.
Great. I like that. Thank you.
Okay. Are there any other comments from the council? I would just like to point out, with Councilman Dabney in regards to the police, if you would like to elaborate as the current status right now, that, negotiations.
We've received their proposals for the things that they want. We had our initial meeting for the police. We look over the different proposals and that, and the controls office right now is working up each, asks that was in that, how it's going to affect us regarding any dollars or whatsoever. So we are in the process of getting that all together, and then we will be contacting you all to sit down and discuss, and then move forward with negotiations for the next contract.
Sounds good.
Due to that there are no further recommendations or comments from the committee or from the council, the finance committee will accept the recommendation will make the recommendation to accept the proposed budget as presented.
We get back to the mayor now that she's here.
What's your question? And thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next, if we could go back to the mayor, which is on page 10.
Thanks, guys. Angie, I have a question. My question was just to understand the rental equipment and charges, subscriptions, and the 3 areas that went up, 3,500, 800, and 1,500, where we had nothing listed for 5, 4, and 3.
You said on page 10?
On page 10, yeah. Down toward the bottom of the page. You got zeros for 23, 24, and 25, and then in 26. And actually, there was none budgeted for 26, but under the controller mayor, we got a 3,500 for rental equipment and 800 for other services and a 1,500 for charges.
Printer?
Yeah.
The copier? We do Board of Works in the mayor's office now. We didn't have we got a big copy.
Okay, so this is another one of those things that we talked about before, where it used to be in Board of Works. Now it's, okay.
Yep, so that's that, and then, let's see. You'll see that throughout. I think we had increased that throughout the budget because we cut it too steep on everybody's last year. But that's where those contractual services, subscriptions, I think that's, I don't think that's Adobe, but that's where those kind of fees, we needed something there because and I don't have those broken out, but even with Isabel, she utilizes different things. She does all our graphic stuff. She does all her, there's just things that we go to the mayor's office that wasn't done before.
We talked about that earlier, that
My
a lot of the
newspaper-
stuff was done by the clerk, now it's done by.
My newspaper subscriptions, any of those, all that stuff is in there.
Okay. We're good.
Do you have anything, Dr. Carr?
No.
Okay, do the council have any questions?
For the transportation, communication and transportation, yeah. Where they have it, where in the past it's 12,000, we're at 16 right now. They had it at 18, you took less.
Yeah.
What's the, I guess, what does that detail? What does that include?
Why did I take less?
Not why did you take less, what is it?
It's travel and
That's
expenses and any money that, like if there's a special event or something that I want to give to or participate in, but any of my hotel expenses, anything like that. I don't use as much because I use my campaign funds for that instead of using public dollars. So I cut it.
Are there any other questions from the council? If there are none and there are no recommendations, the recommendation from the committee is we will accept the proposed budget as presented. Thank you, Mayor. Going back into the order, next we have the fire department. That will be on page 38 through 42.
Good evening. Barrett Taylor, Fire Chief. Frank Reback, Deputy Fire Chief.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Yeah, that was the pet shop.
This is pretty much
Okay.
staff.
Okay, are there any questions from the council? Yes.
So I noticed that the police department added some in their budget to add additional women's locker rooms, and I know that was talked about in some of the fire stations, that there needs to be more room. Is that in this budget?
No. No, we were actually looking towards maybe like a grant. So I know there's grants out there for something like that. So we were going to start looking into that. We talked to a couple, I guess, contractors. They handle building stuff like that, and they're going to point us in the direction of some grants that can be used for that. So we just haven't got that going yet. Just still in talks.
Great, thank you.
Are there any other council comments or questions regarding the fire department budget?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah, this is on page 41, other services and charges, contracts or services, it's about halfway down on the page. Yeah, see, last year was at 95,000, and this year we're at 135,000.
So last year we started a new program for our inspections, our run reports and stuff like that. It was a prorated amount last year. This coming year will be a full amount, so it's going to increase. There's also another thing we were looking at implementing that's about $16,000, $17,000. That's what helped that increase. We're looking at implementing that. It's a GPS type watch that we were going to use. We're not 100% sure we're going to go through with that, and since we have not signed a contract or paid anybody yet, we're toying with the idea of actually pulling that.
What's the name of it again?
Yes.
Yes, it's all.
Ascent platform.
Inviting council.
Yes. Yeah, so we're looking at possibly pulling that. We were talking about that this week. But as far as the other part, you'll see first due. I think that's somewhere around $28,000 for this year. It was less last year, if I remember right, because it was the first year and it was only a partial year we had to pay for.
And it helps you guys with your inspection?
Our inspections, the fire marshal can explain it a lot better than I can.
Okay.
But we switched from, so our run reports are done, you know, it's all, this one is cloud-based. Went online, we did our run reports. This one's cloud-based. There's a lot more that we can do with it. We can do inspections, we can do our run reports. There's other things we can add on. Like I said, the fire marshal can explain that one a lot better than me because that's more of a technical.
What he really likes about it is he can do them real time. He can go to a business and do it real time because it's all through the cloud. And rather than doing an inspection, coming back, loading it up, and it's just a better platform than the one we used before.
Yeah, so if he's at the business.
Yes, and
he can just be putting it in as he's walking around looking.
Yes.
And then he can actually print it out, go to his vehicle and bring it back in to them and then they have their report right there.
And I'll add too, the increase too is, we had ARPA as a backstop for a lot of things that we implemented. So ARPA was paying for some things up front. And so now that's not done, you know, ARPA's going away. So that's why you see that increase as well. Because we prepaid for some things in advance for some of the different programs. Like we switched to, what was the one thing?
Lexipol.
Yeah, Lexipol.
SOP training.
And all of those different things. So we use ARPA, you know, this year and last year for it.
Okay, well, I think that's a great idea. I mean, improves efficiency, improves.
And that's really the main thing. It's more efficient and it's speedier, more efficient. We can get more done with it and it's more thorough.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions or comments from any of the council members? If there are none, the recommendation from the Finance Committee is that the recommendations for the fire department, we recommend that we accept the proposed budget as presented. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Thank you. Tracy, do you want me to talk about the?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
The
thank you.
negotiations?
If Councilman Dabney could elaborate on the fire department negotiation.
I have no questions. I was just saying where we are in terms of where we're at. We received the information that you guys sent in regarding the contract, the asks and everything like that we're looking at. We plan on meeting early to middle next week for our first meeting to discuss all of the different things that are in that. And then once we find out, again, just like with the police, how it's going to affect the budget in every which way, we will then arrange our meetings to start actually sit down, negotiations with you guys.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jimmy. Next, we have park administration. All park. Everything park.
That's the biggest one.
Good evening, council. Shannon Eason, Park Superintendent.
Almost 61 through 76 and everything all park.
Yeah, 61 parameters.
That's a lot.
Want to give us a second to go through?
Is that not clear?
Yeah. No?
Yeah. Oh, she's under mayor.
Okay.
And special. Okay, and she's here.
She is.
Well, thank you.
Shannon, I didn't really spend as much time on looking at the revenue side as I did the expense side, but on the revenue side, on page 61, it looks like we're assuming we're gonna get a lot more charges for services on highway and street parking stickers. Are they going up or?
No, we just sold more this year. So people are realizing it's a bargain to buy a sticker, so we sold quite a few more this year. Let me pull that up on my report.
Well, it looks like this year it actually went down, but for 26, we're looking at a lot more.
So you're looking at the adopted budget for 25. That's not our actual.
Right, they don't have actual, so, yeah, he's not.
Well, I'm looking at an amended budget.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And then in 26, and what your 26 budget and the mayor's are identical,
Yes, you didn't catch.
68,064. So I'm just wondering.
which is our actual projection. That's what we're at this year. Our stickers went up. We
Okay,
made
so they did-
$12,000 more in 2025 than we projected.
Okay, I got it.
Assuming that $20 entry fee, people understand it's a bargain to get a sticker. Now, will they be increased next year? We're working on that now, but that's not even reflected, so it could even go up higher.
Is that the same answer you're gonna give me then for the rentals at Memorial Park? Because those are going up as I go to the
Yep.
26 estimates for revenue.
Yep.
Same thing?
So 10,000 over our projection this year.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Can I jump into the question?
Yes.
Shannon, is that because the rental fees went up?
No.
Just that many more weddings that, or whatever, I mean, or.
Took a few years, post-pandemic to get people back into the swing, but our rentals are going back to a normal level, both at the senior center and Memorial. Our shelters, people are starting to get back out and use the parks, which is great. But no, we had not increased the fees.
Were those fees part of the fee study? Or,
Our fees are set by our park board.
okay.
We're working on those now, so
Okay.
we have great comparison data to back up our decisions. Debbie knows, she used to have to do it.
Shannon, I have a question. So down at Millennium Plaza, for the gentleman that runs the concerts on the weekends, what type of contract is that, and what does he pay the city?
So
Is that space?
it's being negotiated right now. So the 2025, it's a memorandum of understanding that he gets use of the space, but it's not exclusive. So the park can still rent that out for parties and weddings, et cetera. Right now, he's paying $3,000, but it's also important to understand the in-kind. He furnishes the plaza, he cleans the plaza 7 days a week, empties the trash, supplies the porta pots, the pop machines. Prior to us having a vendor down there, the plaza stood empty for the first 20 years. There's nothing going on down there. So he does bring that value as well, but we are negotiating. I really don't want to talk about the negotiation right
Yeah,
now.
that's fine.
But it'll be a higher amount.
Yeah, well, he had a pretty good year. Yeah.
Not on the boat.
It's a great
It's a
venue.
bad year for the boat.
I'm just saying, it's a
weather-wise.
great venue for Michigan
Yes,
City.
it is.
No doubt. Okay.
What's the explanation for the zoo train revenue? What?
So actually, again, we're working on our fees for next year. When we put the train in, there was a $1 fee, then it went up to $2, and then we made it free because we did some increases at the admission window. And we kind of feel like when you go into the zoo, you don't want to have to pay for every little thing. So try to throw in a few free attractions. So we did put it in because our revenue's down this year. We need to recoup some. But after our fee discussions, we're taking it out. We're going to keep the train free. There'll be some other increases to cover that.
So,
And my hope is if you charge a family $1 to use the train, you just charged them again for something. If you give it to them free, anytime you give somebody free, they'll spend twice as much on the feeders because they got something free. So,
why are we
Yeah.
estimating then that we're gonna get over $6,000 if we're gonna give it away?
because that's based on the last time we charged for it. Oh, because we just decided, like, in the last week and a half, that we're not gonna charge for it. When we did our budgets, we started our budgets in April.
So this revenue line should be zeroed out rather than 6,146?
Yes, it could be removed because we're not gonna do it. Yeah.
I'd recommend-
We're gonna recoup it on the admission side, hopefully.
What page?
Page, that's 63.
What is your recommendation?
I recommend that we remove the $6,146 line and zero it out.
I have a question. Does that matter?
No, I mean, they're all estimated.
It doesn't
revenues.
matter.
You're really, when you sign, you are approving the budget, the expense side on the whole, but we could remove it. I mean, it might even help Shannon do it, and not think, oh, she's budgeting, we're gonna get that revenue, but.
But we,
In another bucket.
we don't look at our revenue that way. And it is possible next year that we would reinstate a fee because, you know, we're constantly battling the weather in all of my revenue operations. So
It'd
we,
be bad, but I think we
Yeah.
gotta zero it out because it is a budget and it shouldn't be there.
Okay.
Whether it matters or not, doesn't matter.
yeah,
to me.
at this point, now the board hasn't approved our fees yet, but at this point, we are not planning on charging.
So the recommendation is to remove line 2204.504.367.029 contributions / donations, Zoo Train revenue, 2026 controller mayor in the amount of $6,146.
Right.
No, it's no time, we'll like that.
I was hoping that.
Are there any other recommendations from the committee?
No, your expenses are like identical, pretty much.
And Shannon, if you would please, in the budget questionnaire you provided to us, and as always, very detailed, it has everything in here. But you also have in there, the question was asked, what is the position and its duties in regards to, did you need to create positions in your department? And you said yes. And you indicated you wanted to promote a full-time, non-exempt administrative assistant to salary exempt administrative director. Would you elaborate on that a little?
I would. So, our current structure is we have 3 admin assistants. One's like our rec coordinator, rental coordinator. One is our accounts payable, accounts receivable, budgets, and one is payroll. The budgeting position right now is training up to take over many of the duties that I perform right now. So we are really working on succession because I am really looking forward to retiring. So this particular position, I guess the most important thing it's taken over is the parking operation. So in my absence, this position, the person that's in it now is well-trained. This is the first summer I've ever taken a summer vacation for an extended period of time in 30 years because she's well-trained. Other duties would be all of our budgeting, all of our reports, and our grants. So, like at this point, if I left, I don't believe there is anyone in the city that could fill my role as the trail grant coordinator, 100%. That's a dangerous place to be in when you're playing with federal dollars, so we are working hard to cross-train Will, cross-train Melissa, and they're also going out and starting to write their own grants, which is great, so they're learning the process so they can continue to bring in. I think last year we brought in $3.1 million, our department alone, in grants and sponsorships. So we want to keep that going to help keep our parks up to the standards that we want them to be. So I would highly recommend that you approve this as we work towards my retirement and making sure our department is well-trained and cross-trained.
You can
I'll be available for consulting services on
We don't have that in the budget.
a part-time basis.
And we've included, and this is included in the budget
Yes, it is.
already.
And I would note, we have reduced some of our seasonal costs, so it's balancing out most of it.
And do any of the committees have any other questions for the park in regards to the park recreation, the park maintenance, park senior center?
I don't have any issues with the expenses in those
Park
because
concession.
they're pretty much right in line with where they were. I don't see any increases anywhere.
And are there any other questions from any of the council members?
Yeah, I have a couple questions. Shannon, on the page that has the
Could you provide
questionnaire,
us?
has the equipment on it. I know you have a pickup truck, some of these other, what's the issue with this bulldozer? Does it need to have repairs? Is that why it's on here?
No, we would like to purchase a bulldozer for the city because currently we're renting one. We use it all summer to level out the beach. We use it to set up special events, sand festival.
Yeah.
So we're paying $40,000 a year to rent out a piece of equipment. I know the city has some financial problems to work through right now, but I want to keep that on our wish list because if the city had a bulldozer, it's going to pay for itself in a short amount of time.
You know, I thought we had a bulldozer out at the, where we take all.
Hitchcock.
Hitchcock, yeah, out there. And I thought,
But we can't use it at the same time they're using it, and that's the issue. Plus, they charge us to move it. How much do they charge us?
$600.
Each way that we move it to the locations we need it.
who
But
charges you that?
Central.
We have
No?
to, Woodrow's has to move it.
Yes, they have to
Oh,
move
gotcha.
it. It takes a special vehicle to move it.
Okay.
So that's the issue with some shared equipment is the lifts, trucks, we all need it at the same time. You can't have, 3 different city teams that all need a lift during the same season. So it's an expensive piece of equipment, but it would pay itself off fairly quickly, I think.
Explain how it would pay itself off.
Because we wouldn't be paying the rental fees of $40,000 every summer. And we would have the use of it longer than, the 6 or 8 weeks that we run it for. We could use it for snow removal and,
If I could add, it would also take a load off our loader.
That was just gonna say the
Well, you're not gonna use a bulldozer for snow removal.
depends on how much snow.
Well, yeah, but you're not gonna run that on
Okay.
the street or blacktop.
But parks,
Okay, anyway, yeah, I was
leaves,
just
moving
curious. what
leaves
happened.
around,
How much is the bulldozer?
$500,000.
Yeah.
So what's your number one item on this?
Less than a fire truck.
What's your number one item on this wish list?
Well, I think the mayor's office can tell you which items that were actually chosen.
Yeah, I think the ones that were the priority, she picked, the pickup truck.
The plow.
That was number 1, so that's included in the budget.
Oh, okay. What else we got?
The zoo, club carry-all.
Just pick up.
Yes, the pickup.
I don't know where your capital's listed on here.
They're listed by priority in the.
Yeah.
She has them in order.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. Good.
She got 66,000
Right.
for other
Yeah.
machinery and equipment. Is that the pickup?
That's the pickup truck, and then there should be in the zoo, 16,100.
All right, so this is your top priorities.
This is my top priority wish list. This is not what's being presented by the mayor.
Dr. Cora has a question.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
And I don't have a question regarding your budget, but many communities I see, they focus on creating the infrastructure and facilities to attract sporting events, especially for the youth. And that really helps improve the economy also. Before you retire, can you come up with a strategic plan of what we can do to make that happen in Michigan City?
It's all about money. It really is at this point.
Money and people.
We have Patriot Park right now, which is in desperate need of updates and new infrastructure. So it all comes down to funding. But as most of you know, my assistant Will Walker is a sports guy, so he's got feelers out all over the nation. So he's meeting with different management companies, different grant companies. Patriot is definitely one of our priorities to finish it. It's never gotten completed as it was designed. The parking lots aren't there. all the diamonds aren't there. So yeah, we're aware of it. It is an economic driver for sure. You know, we have tournaments where these players are coming in and they're filling all our hotel rooms. So yeah, it's on our radar.
I would suggest you also consider maybe getting some private businesses to
Sponsor.
partner with
Yeah.
us to improve these facilities today.
Would you like naming rights, Dr. Cora?
We're trying.
Dr. Cora's Patriot Park, sounds good.
There you go.
Shannon, would you,
You're welcome.
would you be able to, Marty's not here, to speak on golf?
I'll try. I'm not a golfer, but I do manage their budget.
And that is on page 150 through 152.
Okay.
Whatever it was.
That's the microphone. I got it, Kevin.
Kevin, we got it. That's all right. Okay.
Did you have a question?
No, I just,
Oh.
see if any of the committeemen have any
Well-
questions regarding the golf.
I don't have a question on the ask, on the request for the budget figures, but I'm not sure why on page 151, why do we have, for this year, 25, amended budget? Why is that so high there? It doesn't match the other years.
What account are you looking at?
Requires repairs and maintenance building, third from the bottom on page 151.
010.
The roofing,
Yep.
Yes.
What happened there?
we had hail damage.
May 7th
So low.
of 2024.
Appropriation amended the budget.
Yeah.
Because we received insurance money, so we were able to, put money in the golf budget, mechanics budget, to pay for those, for that hail damage.
Oh.
That we received money. And if you look, it's an amended budget, so.
Yeah.
It wasn't in the original budget, but when we received the insurance proceeds, we added it to the golf
Okay.
budget. Because we received money.
So that was
I'm just curious about it.
$120,000
Yeah.
on the insurance payout.
Got it.
That was also in the zoo budget, if you see it. I think theirs was
Yeah,
139 in damages.
We amended the budget.
Right.
Got it.
If there are no other comments or questions from the council, and no additional recommendations from the committee, the recommendation is to accept the, budget as presented. Oh, I'm sorry. The recommendation, let me re-clarify that. There was a recommendation by Mr. Beardry for Park and Recreation contribution donation, account number 367.029. The original budget request is for $6,146, recommended cut, $6,146, amended balance, 0. From Fund 2204.
Yeah, Madam President, I did have one question. I'm sorry I didn't jump in there right away. But for the North Course, do we have any plans? I know we're working with the school system for 2026 to help
Yes.
us with repairs. Are we setting money aside for any supplies
We'll
that
have
we might have
to,
to buy?
yeah, because we're gonna have to pay for the materials. Just so everyone knows, we are working with the building trades in the school to do some projects for the park, the North Course, outside restoration, which is siding, new windows, things of that nature, is what we're looking at. Meyer Glass is going to donate the windows, which is great, so we'll look for some more donations, but yeah, it'll have to come out of our regular building account.
Okay. Is the park board aware of
Yes.
what we're trying to accomplish out there?
So we've submitted 3 projects to the schools already, so we've got some winter work for them to do indoors and then spring. The hardest thing with doing the North course is these students are not supervised, so I have to provide a supervisor. And we don't have, you know, a lot of staff that I can't pull off of our maintenance team
Yeah.
to supervise this project. So that's kind of our stumbling block we're trying to work through.
Where, I don't get that. This is AK? AK Smith? Those
No, well, it's kind of replacing.
Well, they moved out of AK Smith, okay? It's the same program, wood shop,
Yeah.
machine shop, all that.
But it's
They're out on
countywide.
Woodland Ave now.
Right.
And yeah, they
I
have.
went there for their
Yeah,
open house.
so the Shannon, myself, not the school superintendent, but the director of trades was there, and the gentleman that would be teaching the students on how to do this type of work. And Dennis Schultz was there, because Dennis is the one that kind of got this going, and had me get a hold of Shannon, and then we got this meeting put together. And they are willing to provide the students, and I'm sure a little supervision if needed, but this is how we're gonna move forward, trying to repair that, the North Course Clubhouse. And I know for any of you that aren't golfers, what you need to do is take a walk out or take a drive out to the North Course and just walk around that. We call it a clubhouse. It's, you go in there, you pay your fees and you use the restroom, but it needs a total revamp. It's fallen apart. And it's actually embarrassing to the city to have a place like that. Other courses I go to, LaPorte, Valpo, you know, their courses are, their facilities are nice and neat, and this one here needs to help, so that's why, and I know we're gonna get it, we'll get it done, but yeah.
I like the idea that they're doing it, but I'm shocked by your comment that they're gonna be unsupervised, because
So, because they
who was the
only,
instructor of that program, and
they have one teacher and they will pick students of different skill levels depending on what project we match them up with, and then our staff has to supervise the project and guide these students. So they're learning a skill, we're getting some value out of it, but there is no supervisor in the program. We
I
have to
think though
provide
that
that.
we can probably work with the carpenters on
Yeah,
that. We'll be able to work.
we'll work the details out.
I just can't see the school system sending those kids in that class out to a work project without any supervision
Yeah.
from that program.
That's how they're doing it.
Forget anybody else. That-
Yeah. We'll work through it, because
Yep.
I mean, there's a liability issue, so we have to make
Yeah.
sure that they're supervised.
It's not something we should be concerned about, but I think the school system should definitely be concerned about that.
Yeah.
Well, I agree, Councilman, both sides should be, you know, aware of it and concerned about it, and like the mayor's saying, we'll get the right people involved and get it taken care of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because this project has gotta
Reel
happen.
this back in, a
We've
little
been
bit
after
back to the
been after it
budget.
for 8
Let's get back to the budget.
Can we get
yeah.
back to the budget?
So, all right, I think we're good.
Can we, well, Ms. Eason, I would like to, again, thank you. And that's all we need for this evening. Oh, since you're.
Public Art?
Committee, yes.
What page is that? Public art.
Who's that?
I don't think it's,
I don't think I
Yeah.
have that.
It's not, it's in the, boards and commissions.
Oh, boards and committees, what page is that?
That's under the, yes.
I got it. Sorry, right here.
I've got it. Yeah, I had all mine, I just don't have the same page numbers and
Yes.
stuff like.
What is it?
52.
There's not much to it.
I know, but she asked earlier.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Your front door.
Arts Committee.
And if we can stay the course, in regards to the, budget and comments and questions. Are there any recommendations or comments from the committee?
I would just like to make a comment on several of the boards. I appreciate the fact that this is one of those committees, they raise their own money and they manage it and they provide a service. So, I mean, not sure what else to say, but I do want to say though, just in general about boards and commissions, you know, we have a lot of paid boards and commissions compared to actually probably double the size of what cities our size have. Just FYI. Which takes up a lot of, and I'm just gonna say it this way, it takes up a lot of time and energy, whether it's a website, whatever it is. And boards and commissions that are meeting every month to meet, and then 20-minute meetings, maybe they should be meeting every month. Maybe it's every other month, because we also have an ALCO contract. And when you look at the number of meetings that they have to cover, and then they bring all their equipment out or come out for a 20-minute meeting.
Yeah.
You know, we need to really think about that. You know, we have people, you know, that will say that, well, you know, you don't contribute to these boards and commissions. Well, we contribute by paying salaries. A lot of these boards and commissions are getting salaries, and then they're there for 20 minutes, right? So we're gonna probably do an internal study of them. I had Drew from Access LaPorte County put together a number of views for every meeting. You know, things like that, you know, so that we can start looking at that. Because maybe it works out better if some boards and commissions meet every other month versus monthly. Like BZA, if they don't have anything, they cancel their meeting. They don't even come, right? So I think we need to look at that. We've established this thing, and it seems like it's always during elections, we gave people salaries. You know, a lot of cities, they don't receive pay for their boards and commissions. So we spend 100 and something, I forgot how much the total was, but we spend this decent amount of money on boards and commissions. So some of them are very good and self-sustaining. They go get grants. They go solicit for funding. But we do contribute by giving salaries to every single board and commission. And then we have some boards that are large. So we just need to look at that. And you all are the liaison, so you all should know which ones you would know better than I would.
Yep.
So make the recommendations. You know, those are some of the things you should be looking at. You know, because we'll get into the nitty-gritty of other things, and then we won't look at that. And that's energy from Access LaPorte County. That's a $150,000 contract, because they're running around town, running to every board and commission meeting and every change and everything that happens. So just keep that in the back of your mind as we move forward.
Now, this particular board is not paid. And they actually are very
Yes.
good.
Exactly. Yes.
Right.
They are
That's true.
volunteers, but they do have a small budget in our
Yes.
ledger, unlike the other boards and commissions that don't.
You're right.
But they don't have salaries,
That's great value.
so
Yes.
great value.
Yep.
We are displaying $1.3 million worth of artwork in Michigan City this year, so it's a valuable committee.
Yep.
Are there any comments? There are none. Then the recommendation is to accept the proposed budget as presented.
Thank you.
I would like to go back to departments that's under the mayor's. If I can have Workforce Development and Education Director come up, please. That's going to be page 130 and 132.
From scholarship?
Yes.
Great list this year on that, by the way.
Keela Ward, Education Workforce.
Good evening, Ms. Ward. Okay. I have no recommendations, however, I believe from my understanding, in regards to this year, the MC Promise scholarships, can you elaborate on how many applicants this may be possibly the highest that you've received? If you could give us some insight on that?
This year, this was a good year. We had my first year here, or first semester, I should say, in recruiting. I was able to bring in 17, and this year, last fall was 17, and then this year, for this school year, is 30. So I have 30 new students. It's exciting.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Are there any recommendations from the committee?
No, I think it looks fine.
Are there any questions from the council? Any of the council have any comments or questions? If there are none, the recommendation is to accept the proposed budget as presented. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're doing a great job.
Boy, you came up here, sat down for 45 seconds.
I'm sorry.
You have a good night.
Yeah, I will.
We gotta tell them
I was
next year.
looking at the events coordinator. The events coordinator?
It's 2528 is the fund number, which is page 162. 162 and 163. Special events.
I can talk about that.
Yeah.
Is it 162?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He's really doing a good job.
Let's just check
That is it.
No, we kept everything the same pretty much. Again, each year, he's, oh, I left it upstairs. Each year, he's seen an increase in revenues. He's added more sponsorships each year. He's already started on next year's sponsorships. And like I said, just in overtime alone, I mean, extra hours that Terry works, just in January through Oktoberfest, we're talking 450 extra hours outside the 40-hour work week. So, again, I think the value is definitely worth it. You see every event growing, which is great. We were a little disappointed in fireworks. We're looking at new vendors for that, for this year coming up, so. But other than that, we kept pretty much everything flat.
Cool.
Are there any recommendations from the committee?
No, it's fine.
If there are not any other comments from the council? If there are none, then the finance committee recommendation is to accept the proposed budget as presented. Redevelopment, page 137, 139.
Oh, that's right, you could. Well, one thing that's different, that we hadn't been doing, and we started this year, is that, as a redevelopment commission, or as a city, you can use non-tip dollars to pay for salaries and pay for the expenses. So, this year, in this year's budget, and what you'll see in this budget is that, we're using, the interest from TIP to cover the salaries of Skylar and for Debbie, and then all of their expenses and all their benefits. So we're not using taxpayer dollars or anything for those positions. We're using the interest off of those earnings. So that, I mean, that's the biggest, that's what you see in your budget.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, it just says non-TIF revenues, and that total amount that covers training, benefits, longevity, you name it. is included in those dollars.
Are there any recommendations or comments from the committee? Any comments or questions from the council?
I have one question, sir.
Yes, Dr.
Mayor, what in the years past, what were we doing with this interest income?
No. So what we were doing prior to my administration was we were using lit, economic lit, that's going away in 2028, right? That's going away, so this is a tool we should have been using. So when we did the budget for 2025, I had them pull all that, make sure we went through DGLF, asked all the questions, did all the right things, got their recommendations from them. And so 2025, we went to that model. So, and we'll continue to do that moving forward.
And we also, just for FYI, for knowledge, we do have to put together a spending plan now for TIF required by the state, submit that to DLGF. I work with the mayor on that. We've put together, we're almost done with the spending plan. It'll be put into an ordinance, not an ordinance, I'm sorry, into a document. And then it will be brought, I think it will be presented. Baker Tilly's doing that for us, but I've already submitted all the numbers to them and what we want to, or what pots of money. There's different pots of money you can put things in now. They've really kind of opened it up a little bit less restrictive than it has been in the past.
And like for this year, like we're still looking at some of the leases for the police. So what we've included is police and fire items in there. So some of the capital has been in the redevelopment in that money. So in their spending plan, we put that in there. We put matching grants for CCMG. So the spending plan is pretty flexible, but we want to make sure, even if we don't use it, like for fire department, we went for some money, a grant. At least the money's there. If we need to match it, we have it there. So we put together a spending plan that has to go, has to be approved through the redevelopment commission and all that. But it's TIF dollars though.
Yeah, that would be TIF dollars. And it's not a budget. It's just saying this is what we could spend, think we might spend. Some of it actually is things we are going to spend, like all of our bond payments are in there, things that we actually know are going to be expenditures.
On this topic, Mayor, one other question I wanted to ask you is, when we hire somebody like Baker Tilly to look at our fee structure and everything, can we ask them to look at all these funds that we have and see if we are using these resources effectively and efficiently? The different funds that we have in the city.
That's what we've been doing. I mean, we started that last year. Yeah, so we started that last year. Actually, we approved the ARPA money, so we have that. But the other thing that we're asking them to do is to evaluate our lit. So that's something that's coming. But yeah, that's what we've been doing. And so they have been helping us. They review our budget. I mean, we have them doing all that for us now. Instead of us just doing it, we get it done, then we give it to them and say, now we need you to put your eyes on it and tell us yes or no. As far as the funds, they give us a recommendation on what our cash balances should be and where we should be at. So we're doing that more diligently than probably, previous, ever. You're right.
Long time.
Yes, so those are the things that we're doing because we know we need to evaluate our lits before 2028. I think there's going to be, no, I'm not going to say that. We hope that there's going to be some changes in the next legislative session, but we need to prepare that there won't be any changes. So we're going to ask them to evaluate our lits, what that looks like for us, what the revenue, replacement could be or not, and then look at our housing. We have a new housing study that was completed. So to really give them all of that data, the houses that are coming online and what that looks like for us. So we are.
When we did the planning department, you guys, so that some of the expenses that they had that were not there in prior years were because we split these departments in half.
That's correct.
Some planning department had to buy their own some of their own supplies, their own rental, had to pay for some of their rentals and communication, travel expenses. But it looks like, where were they before? Because redevelopment expenses are up also in those same areas. I mean, if you started over here at this amount and you split it, and both of these are higher than what
Not
that was.
redevelopment. Redevelopment was never in anything until this year.
Yeah.
You talking about planning and building?
No, I'm talking specifically about transportation, travel expenses, and rentals.
What page?
On what page?
Where you at? What?
I'm on, well, one of them's on 138, one of them's on 139.
So redevelopment, they didn't budget any of this last year. Transportation.
No.
Well, who pays for all that last?
Planning.
Planning. Remember, it was all together.
It's all one department.
Yeah, I remember we split them apart, but I'm trying to remember what I was told by like a couple hours ago, and it isn't jiving with what I'm seeing here.
Planning and building, not, it didn't have anything to do
Oh,
with redevelopment.
yes,
Yeah.
no, that's different.
Yes.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah.
So, what was your question again?
He's talking about, he's talking
Y'all
about
talking about redevelopment, but we
Tell me what
split
is-
planning and planning into planning and building.
Yes.
That's what we were talking about earlier, it didn't have anything to do with redevelopment. So,
Well, I know it didn't have anything to do with him, but it had to do with the planning department.
planning and building,
yes.
yes.
And they assumed expenses that they didn't have the previous year. Who had those expenses?
Planning had all
All
of
of
it.
Everything.
Planning had all
Yes.
of it.
Yes.
Planning had everything. But then we split planning and building into two separate things. So planning department now only consists of the planning director, an associate director, and an admin, and then the CDBG
Yeah.
workers. They don't use cars, they're just those five.
So you split
positions.
planning and building.
Yeah. We split
Actually-
planning into
You only
planning and
go- And
building.
then you split him out of planning and
Yes.
redevelopment.
Actually, it used to be planning, building, and
And
code
redevelopment.
enforcement and redevelopment. All of it was together in the
But
same budget.
redevelopment has its own fund and its own expenses.
Correct.
So it's in this, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I straddled that, and so now it's kind of.
I wanted everybody to
Yeah.
have their own budget so that we could see.
I'm okay with that. I'm just trying to make sure that the travel and rental and fees for, where is it?
Was it 15,000?
Yeah.
Contractual services and all those things make sense, that we aren't ended up paying more for that now by having done that than we're paying when they were
Well,
on.
let me take a step back. There is gonna be more, we have more people and we're bringing in more revenues. So like, we didn't have a permit specialist. We didn't have,
No, I get that.
right, so, and we have more code enforcement people. We have more inspectors that are part-time. Even though they're part-time, we don't pay for the medical expense. The part-time versus full-time saved us money. But we have more people.
But that shouldn't mean that we would have additional contractual services or additional travel expenses necessarily. Should it?
It could, because there's a couple of, because we were talking about mileage and gas, and we got into a whole discussion on automobiles and all of that. So we wanted to make sure we had enough, because we got too many projects and things happening that we want to make sure there's enough money in there. So we put an increase in there to make sure we compensate for that, because there's so much work time in it. We need to make sure if there's anything additional, because we have, how many part-time inspectors now? Two, but we plan for 4.
Right.
So we have to plan for the maximum number of people, even though they're not here. I mean, that's the goal.
And you don't want to bring on too many full-time during a boom and then have to have nothing to do at the end of a 6-year period or 5-year, 6-year period, 10-year period, whatever it is.
Because we just purchased the vehicles from the lease. But what's your question, Don? Did you look at it?
Yeah, well, what my question is, and this came up before you got here, okay? Because the gentleman from the city planner was up here, and the gentleman from
David.
Code. Yeah. And he was explaining to the committee why he needed $15,000 to bring in this consulting company to do inspections.
Yes,
Okay, so we're gonna bring in specialists when we need them,
yep.
but yeah, we're still gonna go out and hire more part-time?
Yeah,
People.
because, listen, the specialist, so,
Because you only have 2 now, and you're saying you're gonna hire 4 more?
no.
You're gonna have a total of 2 more. Okay.
So let me explain that, because there's gonna be more of that. Y'all gonna see more of that. Where do we get our complaints from?
Permit,
Okay, right?
planning.
Right. So Dave, I don't know if he shared the number of permits and how much money we brought in, right? He did that. Right? And so, right now, we're still not keeping up. I was at an event and they pulled me aside about permits and concrete and something else already, right?
Every day.
And so, I don't want to nickel and dime this, let me say that. But we know that we need outside. I just met with another firm this morning to talk about contracting. I said, because we need 2 or 3 different contract organizations to support these big projects. I'm not gonna send,
You talking about inspections?
yes,
Okay.
inspections, because
Plan
data center, solar, this, all these homes and stuff. Our folks need to be doing like our residential and small business stuff.
commercial.
This big commercial stuff, we're gonna have to hire people. But the goal is, and hopefully before the end of the year, so I'll just preface that, hopefully we'll get an onslaught of revenue that shows up before the end of the year, because I'm coming to you for an appropriation to hire these companies. So I'm just giving you a preface of that. As these permit fees come in, these big ones, our team can't handle it. I'm not gonna have everybody in the whole planning and inspection department sitting at a site all day. That's why you have to hire these companies to come in and do it. So the goal is hopefully before the end of the year that we can work through some of that. Right now, I'm asking all these companies for proposals. What's your hourly, what's your this, what can you provide, what services can you provide? Because on the flip side is, we'll make money off of the permits
Right.
and still be able to pay these contractors to do the inspection.
Well, that's the important
Okay,
issue
well,
right there. Are we sure we're doing that?
15,000.
Right now to get caught up.
So you're gonna be asking for more
Oh, yeah, once
during the year?
I know what the revenue is. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna ask without having the money.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So like right now, the Franklin takes a lot of time, and there's gonna be some extra inspections as they start finishing that out.
I understand all
So
that.
that's kind of
Yeah, with the big projects, you gotta have inspectors.
But I wanna know how much you're gonna get in revenue, then I'll come ask you. Once the revenue comes in, then I'm gonna say, hey, I need this appropriation for inspection.
Thank you. That's good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna budget it, I'm just gonna wait till the money shows up this year, I'm coming to you this year, just want y'all to know.
Okay.
So, okay,
It's gonna come.
I'm okay with that, if it goes in that
Or
order.
you can say, I told you I'd be here.
Are there any other comments from the council? And there are no recommendations. The recommendation will be that we accept the proposed budget as presented for the redevelopment. I'm gonna go a little ways off of this. Sanitary district stormwater,
Okay. What page?
page 157 through 159.
That's not too bad.
See if I can be helpful.
So patient.
157 through 159.
Last one, huh?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. No, I'm good, thank you. Mayor probably knows as much, if not more about it than I do. So it's okay.
I don't want to spend too much time on the revenue, because the revenue's all over the place here.
I know. That's what was given to us, so that was the
You don't decide those numbers.
I think we understated them before. This is, these are just like, are you talking about property taxes?
Yep.
That's the only revenue.
I think we just rolled budgets that it was just understated before. So when we went out to the GLGF and asked Baker Tilly.
That's the number they gave.
We're comfortable with that. So on the, on page 159 then, I guess the utilities landfill charge is $100,000.
Yes.
We show no expense for prior years there. Why would that, was that taken from somewhere else?
That's from the street sweeper.
Yes.
So what was happening is when you do the street sweeping, is it okay if I jump in?
Yes.
Because I learned this too. When we do the street sweeping,
But where was the money coming from before though? That's what I guess.
That's what I'm asking.
it was being covered under refuse.
Yes.
And so we pulled it out so that it's more in alignment with what it's actually being used for. Because almost the $100,000 is what it costs for your street sweepers. So we have to do that as part of stormwater. And all of that is considered a higher level of disposal costs because you don't know what's in it.
Right.
And so it's a special waste charge. So rather than having that in refuse, it was moved under stormwater.
Where it belongs.
Well, my only question was where was the money coming from before?
Yep.
It was refuse.
And it was in refuse, so we pulled it out to make it more aligned with
Okay,
stormwater.
that makes sense. Then,
Okay.
right below that then, there's repair, maintenance, sewer drains. And,
Yep.
And that came to the mayor, I guess, as a $220,000, and she lowered it to 92.
It came to the mayor that way because we just rolled the budgets from the year before. So when it comes into the departments, it comes in from whatever it was the year before. And that's what they were budgeted.
Okay.
That
Even though they didn't spend.
220,000, which is why we got the actual.
Actuals may have been low.
Actuals may have been lower, but that's what they were.
It must have been lower because we're estimating 92.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay.
we're seeing actuals too, and we're looking at the budget
Okay.
and determining.
The other thing too is what we're looking at too. I know that Sean had asked about the street sweeper.
Yeah.
And we talked about possibly, but we want to see how the budget plays out. What it would cost to purchase a new street sweeper. So we can actually use money from stormwater for that. So we want to make sure that we're on, make sure the budget is what it is first before we do something like that. But there's an opportunity for us to do that.
Are there any recommendations from the committee?
No, I had those issues, but they've been explained. I'm okay with that.
Are there any comments or questions from the council? No? If there are none, the recommendation that we accept the proposed budget as presented. Next, moving on to
We haven't done refuse yet.
central service maintenance, page 20 and 22.
What page?
20 and 22.
Thank you. Wendy? Thank you.
I'm sorry?
I said thank you, Wendy.
Oh, thank you, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I very much appreciate that, thank you. It's been a long day, I apologize. For you guys too.
Yeah.
Tomorrow? Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
I'm sneaking out.
That's pretty much static.
All right, just stay.
Thanks, Wendy. Take care, Skylar. This budget is another one of the ones that's there's just like no difference.
Nope, it stayed the same. They're tracking pretty, they're on track with this year's budget. There's no anomalies or anything
Right.
extremely different, so
I don't have
there's
any
no need to
issues.
make any changes. I know that, they did ask for some capital things. I told them, let's see how we finish this year. If there's something we can pull in this year, we will. But that's kind of where we're at, with that. I know that, and Skylar's gone, but I know we're looking at possibly purchasing, buying out some leases for the police on the redevelopment side. Another set this year, because we still have the money. So we might do that, so that we can bring those into this year instead of dealing with it next year. So Because what we're gonna do is spend money to extend the lease until through next year, and we're gonna try to buy them this year.
Okay.
So anything that we can do this year, we're gonna try to do it, and get it done in this budget, so, in 2025.
Right.
But yeah, there was no changes. I know that, the fuel pumps, we talked about, that, so we'll see where we're at this year, and if we can do some replacement. I know we replaced the technology, the key fob system, all that, but those are some old pumps and tanks, and I think he might have even, I left my phone upstairs. But, nonetheless, that is something that, he said we can wait a little while. It's not urgent, so that's what we're gonna do on the central maintenance side.
Okay.
Are there any recommendations? There are none. The recommendation from the council, from the finance committee will be that we accept the proposed budget as presented. Vector control, page 50 through 51.
Yeah. So I will, and I spent some time with them last weekend, and I talked to Brett today. I know he couldn't be here. So you'll see that we've made a couple of changes. So Vector has picked up all the redevelopment properties, but also they're kind of filling in a gap for refuse as well. So they've created something called Clean Sweep. So you haven't been getting as many complaints on some of the pickups because Vector Control is doing a lot of the pickups around town. So they're doing the sweeps of the west side and different parts of town right now that they're responsible for each week. So, one of the things is for the part-time, this is a good opportunity. They said, hey, you don't have a summer program. We kind of do. The seasonal workers that are working here, this is an entryway into the city. There were several seasonal workers that came through Vector that are now full-time at the sanitary district in different parts of the city now. So it's a gateway into getting a full-time job, basically. So we increased that number because I know next year we really want to target these pickups. They're doing the redevelopment properties, they're doing ours, but also we talked about these abatements. Council, I need y'all to put y'all heads together, figure out a way to expedite these abatements, because we have owners that just rely on us to be their lawn care service. So I think whatever we're charging for our abatements it must not be enough to deter it, because they just allow us to continue to mow their grass every year. So I don't know if the renters are taking up the brunt of that or what.
Yeah.
But we probably should think about that. But that's what I've been using it for. The refuse department, again, we know, they're always hiring CDLs, they're always hiring laborers. So I have Vector kind of being that backup to make sure that, if there's pickups, I just send them over to do pickups. It's easier for them to do it. And so we're gonna have 2 full crews, so they'll be sweeping the city all the time. That's why we haven't been getting as many complaints. Because, I know we created the dumpster program, but like for the west side, I know those folks, so they've been taking care of the west side, Vector Control, in certain areas of town, so.
Is the fact that they're picking up a lot of the redevelopment properties the reason for the increase in the
Yes, redevelopment
pesticides and chemicals?
Well, we're doing our own mosquito abatement now. So the first one this year was done by the contract, was a actual contractual service. Next year, we don't have anything in contractual services for pesticides. We're doing all of it, so that's why you see an increase in that. But we take the money away from contractual services. So yes, we're doing all our own mosquito abatements now in Vector Control.
Okay.
Are there, yes.
I have just a comment, Mayor, to what you're saying about the west side, and you have a special crew going over there twice a month.
All over, yeah.
Yeah, or going all over. Now, does this particular crew, are they going there because people called them? Are they on a call list? Or they're just showing up because there's a mattress sitting out front
That part.
and they just go there, put it in the car or put it in the truck and go on their merry way?
For now, yes, that is correct.
I know, but here's my point. Here's my point. People are never gonna stop doing that. We're gonna continue to be a cleanup
That's correct.
department for these rental properties if we don't step up and we're looking for a source of revenue, charging these people that own these properties to start paying up.
Well, let me give you two things though. This is not for, there are citations being made though, for some of those. But we have homeowners that are disabled and elderly that it's not like a clean out. I'm not talking about clean outs.
Okay.
But I am talking about.
Cabinet, a dresser,
But, right, but I am talking, yes, I'm talking like
not a
small
whole
things.
apartment. I'm sorry.
Not, yeah, but not clean outs. I'm not
I
talking
see
clean
it, that's
outs.
why I'm sorry.
Right, we're not talking, we're talking about what he's talking about. We're not talking about clean outs. Now, if there's a clean out, DeMarcus typically goes and writes a citation. We still gotta pick it up. I mean, because do we just leave it? That's the problem.
No, I understand it. I understand that.
So the clean outs are that's something different.
Okay, my point, okay, here's another part of my point, is that if vector control goes and picks up a mattress or a dresser in somebody's front yard, okay, then I think what they should do is either, leave a note, if you want, say, if you have something to be picked up, then call this number, 1-800-TRASH, and that's the city will come and get it instead of just throwing it out in the front yard. Because, and if it's a elderly person, whatever, however it got there, I think that there needs more thought behind this program besides just putting city workers out there and go pick up all the garbage on Monday morning. Somehow, I know some people are probably disabled, elderly, I understand all that, but I think there's still a percentage of people that are out there scamming the city, and we're wasting our tax money and monies
You can disagree on
and
that.
fuel and maintenance on the trucks by doing this.
So let me say this, I think there's a lot to be said, that was a lot to unpack, and I think there's a long way to go. Because we jump out there with these fees and then we don't follow through, and that is a internal thing that we have to resolve.
Right.
Because we finally purchased stickers to put on garbage cans when they leave stuff out, so we have that stuff now. And, but it's taking time. Because remember, we're free is what the city's used to, and we're slowly getting to that point, but it's not something that just it will happen overnight. So I'd rather have the city clean for now and then we'll figure it out.
I understand.
But yes,
I
I take
understand.
your point is well taken,
Okay,
well taken,
thank you.
yes.
Yes.
We need
So-
precedent.
So for, are there any recommendations? Oh,
I
Mr.
just,
Nelson.
I don't know if this is a misprint or not, but, for vector control assistant officer, that's what he makes a year?
24.74 an hour.
Oh, we got too many hours in there.
There's too many hours in there, right?
Yeah.
That's for
It's
2
the hours,
years.
that's all.
Okay.
It should.
No. So
Okay,
we're gonna
hired
have
another-
two.
We got two?
Right.
So it's 2, I thought
That's
maybe it might
right,
have been 2
that's
too.
right,
Okay.
because I knew it was something. So 2080 is for one.
For 1 year.
There's gonna be two.
Okay. I thought it's one or the other, like,
Right, no.
Vector
Okay.
control
Two
assistant.
talking about?
Vector control, the $24.74,
That's for two.
Yeah.
get that.
Are there,
no, that's,
okay. Are there any, other comments? If there are none, the recommendation is to accept the proposed budget as presented.
No,
Okay.
sorry.
Forrester, page 35.
Forester, I still got that system.
Yeah, 'cause we got contractual services for,
Yeah, all the forester, we don't have a forester, it's contractual services,
Okay,
so,
We'll be having budgeted in that,
yeah,
okay.
we gotta have it somewhere.
yeah.
Then we will go on then to street department.
What page? Oh, MVH.
Yes.
Oh, I gave him away.
That 5960? Not the,
54. 54 is motor vehicle highway fund. 54, 55.
53 through 56.
Oh, 53, yes.
53 through 56.
Yeah, no.
I don't think there was anything changed significant.
There was.
I think everything stayed flat.
Yeah, this is everything, this is flat.
Are there any recommendations from the committee?
No.
You're transferring.
Are there any questions from the council?
Is the transfer down for them?
About 30,000.
Okay. So let me make a comment about this. So typically we transfer $1.5 to $2 million from the riverboat for the street department. Because remember, you got restricted and unrestricted. So this year, I think it's 1.5 instead of,
It's 1.6 instead of 163.
yeah. So 1.6 million from the riverboat. But do know that this did not put the wheel tax in here. The wheel tax is not in the budget. So again, you know, we're applying for CCMG right now at the $1 million mark. So, you know, there's $1 million match. We did put some money, redevelopment just approved to help with some of the matching engineering services for that. And then also, we set aside a little bit, we just got our CDBG plan approved. We did set aside a little bit of money for infrastructure and CDBG as well. Because we're gonna try to get some of these smaller streets outside of the big stuff with CCMG. So even though the wheel tax isn't in here, you know, the goal will be able to bank some of that money, but then also do some smaller projects in some of the neighborhoods. So that's what the goal is for this next year. And then to see, we talked about purchasing equipment.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what I found out about the equipment. So paving equipment, I found out that even the contractors rent their equipment. It says it's too expensive to purchase and to maintain them. So we know the city can't maintain them. So that's probably not gonna happen, but what we can do is offer smaller packages so some of these mom and pop local shops can do some of the smaller roads.
Yep.
So the goal is to have the large CCMG, then offer some small packages that some of the small businesses that do, like our parking lot and stuff like that, they can do small streets. So the goal is to put smaller packages out, they come in cheaper, and then we can use some of that funds to do some of those. So that's what we're looking at doing. But to purchase the equipment, I'm like, anytime the big dogs don't purchase equipment because they say it's too expensive and too expensive to maintain, there's no way the city should.
I like the idea of going with the smaller contractor, local contractor.
Yeah. And that was pretty much it. So if anything comes up for them capital-wise, we'll have some of the MVH, some of the wheel tax money.
So the recommendation would be to accept the proposed budget as presented for the street department. Michigan City Transit. Page 137 through 136.
Page 29.
I'm sorry.
29.
Huh?
Page
29.
MC Transit?
Yeah, you looking at,
36?
that's her ARPA fund.
That's her.
Oh, that's her transit ARPA.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Part of the changes in the general.
Okay. You said 26?
Page 29.
29. Thank you. Right, Teresa.
29 and 30.
The only thing, let me tell you what's new, because I didn't, in here, right now, Robin, doesn't have we put an hourly logistics supervisor in. Before, we had an assistant director
Yeah.
position. But this position, that position was supposed to do like grants and all that, that didn't work out. But we need a supervisor that is more like day-to-day hands-on with the drivers. So she asked for that, but also know that with Ms. Tillman's budget, we get 50% back. You know, we're subsidized.
Yes.
We get 50% back on everything for transit. Some of the things that we've talked about, some more creative things. I will say though, that one of the conversations we had recently was really about bus maintenance and having expertise in that. So she's been really working hard and identifying local vendors that can support some of the things that she's doing. She's also looking at smaller vehicles that don't require a CDL, like passengers. So they got some buses that are smaller that don't require CDL. That a lot of cities are moving towards that, so she's been investigating that. She keeps up with all our federal grants. So we gotta start looking at a succession plan. Robin even said we gotta start looking at a succession plan for her as well. To start getting people trained to understand, because her stuff is very intricate, and just like our drug testing policy, very different. So we've had to hire other drug testing firms because we have to do drug testing on the days that they're operational. So that means Saturdays, that means holidays, that means after hours. And a lot of these places only want to do drug testing from this time to this time. Well, in our audit, we got a check said you need to find somebody who does drug testing outside of these hours. So she's on top of it, just like, Shannon. They're on top of their dollars when it comes to this. So, I'm confident and comfortable in her budget and what was requested, because again, we get half that money back as well.
Did you say she's looking at doing some of her own maintenance?
Just, yeah, for the buses, because what was happening, and this was the thing, we had to change some schedules because of bus maintenance.
Yeah.
So just think about, I'm gonna say prior to us, this administration, this group, is that police and fire they didn't use central maintenance. A lot of everybody wasn't using central maintenance.
Right, yeah, I remember.
Everybody's using central maintenance now. But we gotta prioritize certain things. With the bus system, federal dollars, we can't let that go down, right? We need to make sure we have on-call and local organizations that can support the maintenance for that. We can't be waiting on parts, that's one of the conversations with Daryl and her, we need to get spare parts in advance for certain things, because if we need it, we need it. We can't have a bus sitting up waiting for a certain period of time. So those are internal discussions, but she's been really working hard to identify and working with Daryl to make sure that they have a plan and a contingency plan on what that looks like. Because buses are different than a car.
That's why we bumped that one budget line up then from 40 to 60, the
Yes.
repairs and maintenance equipment.
That's correct.
Okay, that makes sense then.
And they're aging, so her buses are replaced with grants too.
Okay.
Are there any other comments from the council? If there are none, the recommendation is that we accept the 2026 proposed budget as presented. Am I missing?
I think you got them all.
Refuse?
What page is refuse?
Refuse is 99 through 102.
You need to revisit the council too, now that Dr. Corr's here.
Hmm?
You're gonna revisit the council, I believe, now that Dr. Cor was here.
Oh, okay.
So,
Thank you.
so, the revenues are going down for refuse, so that y'all know.
Yeah, I saw that.
What's that?
I don't know, but they are. They came in lower this year too. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Huh.
What's with the, for the refuse fund, why is the communication and transportation phone going up 1,500
Where you at?
on
I'm
page
sorry.
101?
I forgot where I was. Kentone, but, hold on. I think it's Kentone.
Communication, transportation, what, 7,500?
No, communication, transportation, telephone.
Telephone, yeah.
6,000 all across the line until we get to next year to 7,500.
I thought that was Kentone.
I don't know.
Well, it's.
Services.
What page is that on,
All of
Tim?
it.
101, line 4, excuse me.
Right in.
It's 432040.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, I finally got there.
But they got Kentone on all their phones. I mean, so we're using Kentone now in refuse, and I don't think we budgeted. We had it all coming out of, Amy's budget, so we're splitting it out amongst the departments that are using it now. Kentone is that where they can
Right.
put in, they put in pickups, they put in all the stuff in there. Don't get me lying
Was the
about it.
mechanics budget
It
before?
used to, yeah, Kentone, but they all have cell phones and we have to, so like they're using their personal cell phones. So I think that's part of it, but I'll confirm it. But I know that we're already at the budget, so we had to up it.
Yes, the actuals, you're not seeing the actuals.
Yeah,
So when we're planning this budget, we also look at how much did they actually spend for the last 3 years, so that's
year to
why we
date
had increase.
and year to
So
date.
you're just seeing what we've historically under budgeted it, and now it's like, oh, we need to increase that one, because they've been actually, if they're, what they're being charged for themselves. And I think maybe we didn't budget enough, or somebody got it, or somebody positioned themselves. So
Yeah.
that's what that is.
You know, and the mayor just said that we're losing money in the refuse department. How, do
Well,
you guys have any explanation of how that can be happening?
Refuse is funded by
It's property taxes.
General fund,
It's property taxes. You know,
property taxes, we get what they give us.
we get this information from the DLGF. I mean, they publish it, we go out there and we look. And
that's
so
they're
it's what
expecting
they
us to
are
receive.
estimated, and maybe in the past, it was overestimated. So we just, this is the number that the DLGF has given us for the estimate of the property taxes.
Do you know?
Well, I mean, with all this construction going on and all this remodeling going on, property values in my mind are going up.
well,
So
remember,
why
it's
wouldn't
a
we be
circuit
getting,
breaker.
pardon?
We have circuit breakers and everything else. We don't get that.
We don't get breakers, you got growth factors, it's not that.
We get that. They keep that like.
Councilman Nelson?
I was gonna say, how do they determine, that number,
It's complicated.
I'll talk to you after.
as far as, projected property taxes for the city?
It's just the numbers that, well, we rely on, Baker Tilly helps us too, and the DLGF.
Because it's based on net assessed values and all of those formulas that
And we,
legislation.
right, and remember that pie chart I showed y'all on the net assessed values? That was, I mean, we know what our 1% or 2% or 3% is. And,
Those
you
the
know,
renters and the.
Yes.
what we're gonna get, so starting
Airbnb.
next year, 6% cut off of the 2%. we're losing that for next
We're
year.
gonna get even less.
So we're gonna get less in that bucket next year. So that's a part of our overall general fund money.
Are we anticipating more trash? Is that why we projected for a higher landfill charge?
You know, that's what we're tracking for this year. So, yeah.
Under budget.
Are there any other comments from the council?
I just have a quick comment.
Recommendation?
I gotta mention a couple of
I
things.
just have a
too.
quick comment, and it's not just about this refuse fund, it's all of these. We don't know where we are right now. Like on this thing, you're saying, well, it really is more than the 6,000.
Oh, we know, because
Yeah, you know, but we don't know. So, I remember, 8 years ago or so when I was on this committee,
Yeah.
the data we would get from you would have 23, 24, 25, it would say actual, where we're at right now, this is what we're budgeting for next year. So we could look at those numbers and say, well, we over budgeted here, we under budgeted here. That was much easier. You guys remember that? 'Cause
I remember.
I'd like to have that
We have
information
actual on there last year.
next year.
Yeah.
Yes, and when I asked you.
Oh, I was probably thinking about something else when you asked me.
I'd like to have that data next year.
Okay, all right, that's my bad. Because I was like, we had it, but she probably asked me when I was thinking about something else. But we did have actual, so,
Yes, we did.
but you know what I will do though, because it's not that hard, we can do, just a separate report to give to y'all, so that you can
A
see.
budget performance report.
Yes, do a budget performance
Yeah, we can do
report
a
so that they can
year-to-date
have
budget
that,
performance.
and we'll get you a copy of it.
That'd be better data.
Yeah.
And on the same form though, so we can look at
We ain't reprinting it.
3 years, then where we're at actual on that budget, budgeted for, and then what we're looking at for next year.
Yep.
Just pull last year's actual.
So
I
is
know,
there,
but I'm not today.
When? Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, I don't need that
right, but we will.
next year.
Yeah, next year.
So I got a couple of things, so let me bring up a couple of things. So, on here, one of the things, and I had a great, meeting with the refuse department, 2 Fridays ago. You see that we have part-time loaders on here, which has been working out great. We have 4 part-time loaders instead of having our full complement of full-time loaders. And we're able to try them out. Because we've been going through a lot of folks in the refuse department. And one of the things that we talked about, we had HR, we talked about, you know, people being off, falling off and all of that. We talked about, you know, building a different culture and whatever. And so we added part-time loaders, which is working out because we have a lot of call-offs. These part-time, you know, people have really filled in the gap. And I think it's a great opportunity for them to become full-time. But they get to prove that they want to be here.
Right.
And we split out the driver and the loader because what was happening, people who have a CDL, they want to drive. They don't want to be on the back of the truck. And what we're telling them is, oh, you got a CDL, but you got to start on the back of the truck. And so we kept losing people and always having to hire. So we split those positions out. And now we have loaders that are separate from the CDL drivers. And it's been a better way to do it. But the part-time loaders come in handy when you, especially with call-offs and things like that. They want the hours.
Yes.
They want the hours. So
So if somebody calls off, then you call them in?
they can come in extra hours, yes.
Yeah.
Whatever you need. So.
I was waiting to get them hours too. Can't wait to get them.
Yep, so right now we have 2. But I budgeted 4 and took away a loader, a full-time loader. So that's one of the differences.
They equal each other out for the most part, 1 full-time, 2 part-time?
Well, the difference between full-time is that we have to pay $23,000 per employee for insurance that's full-time.
okay. If there are no other comments or questions, the recommendation for the refuse department is to accept the proposed budget as presented. City Hall?
Okay, let's go.
City Hall page,
What page?
City Hall page 23 through 25?
23 through 27. So, 23 to 25.
Your supplies went back up.
Yeah, they did.
Wink, wink, and everything else is flat.
Okay.
Repairs, maintenance, building, but
It's coming down to custodian too.
Yes, that's moving to part-time for next year.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Repair maintenance building.
Any comments or recommendations from the
Yes.
committee?
Well, say that again.
I mean, I don't have a problem with budgeting it in there. But it's a lot less than what we've had in the past. But geez, we had a lot of work done on City Hall this year.
Yeah, I mean, the storm, we paid for a new roof and,
But you know, the tower or something, you have to get new stuff on the generator this year anyway. I think that's why we were able to take down.
yes, we were able to take it down because we had the emergency repair for the boiler
I'm
this
fine
year.
with it.
Okay.
Because we didn't pay money for it.
Are there any comments from the council
It was.
on City Hall Fund 109? If there are none, the recommendation is to accept the proposed budget as it has been presented.
I know it's your fault.
Um,
I know it.
do the local roads and streets?
Oh, 2202?
Yeah,
They
2202.
try to go hand in hand with street.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
part of the street.
It's not, yeah.
The salt budget is in there,
The salt is a big
Okay.
part of the,
and some repairs.
Fund 2209 lit,
what page?
that is page 83 through 94.
83 to 94, I can tell you about that.
Yeah, this one will be going away.
Yeah, this is one of those that will be going away. So, in here, this is where we pay for Andy, IT, all of our Microsoft, Comcast, insurance stuff. I mean, this is like, yeah. Matching, our news dispatch, our Office 365, our bank fees, help desk, all of that. Demolitions come out of here.
Get money for
The Esplanade legal comes out of here.
Okay.
additional engineering.
Yes.
Our landscaping.
Landscaping comes out of here.
Oh, we did get streets, truck.
I did get the, okay, so I did get the truck for the street
Yeah.
department in
Okay.
here.
It's 360.
Say what?
The Microsoft, we can't go to Linux or anything?
No,
like that?
no,
Yeah.
okay.
Sixty-five is Word, Excel.
No, I know exactly what it is,
But this is where we pay for, all our IT services, all our subscriptions,
but.
you name it. Access LaPorte County,
What's the total of that? Do you know right offhand?
what?
What?
4 million, the lit 4 million, it's on page 83.
4,371,000 is the budget
Is
expense.
what we received, yeah. No, what
What is
did I
this
see?
expense?
And this is what we receive from the state.
Yes.
Oh.
And what does LIT stand for?
I'm sorry?
Local income tax.
Local income tax, yeah.
Local income tax. Economic development, local income tax.
Yeah.
So are there any other comments on this?
Yeah.
I have a question regarding local income tax.
Yes.
Are we paying any, we are not paying any city tax, we pay county tax.
Correct.
And we get a portion of that county.
That's what we
That's what
received.
this is.
That's what this is.
That's what this is.
From the county, which is, yes.
Okay. Now, are they going to eliminate the county tax?
Yes.
This is gonna be eliminated.
This is going to be eliminated, all the local income taxes.
Public safety lit, this lit, the other lit, all of it's going away. You all have to pass a city tax. And then
So-
they gotta pass a tax.
So there won't be any county tax anymore?
Yeah, they gotta pass it too.
They're gonna have, you're gonna have.
They
to
gotta pass it too.
So they have a county tax separate and there'll be a city tax
Correct.
separate?
And we'll get a piece of theirs, a little bit.
But we won't get enough to make up what we're receiving now.
That's
So,
correct.
whatever lit, even if you guys get the maximum lit, or it's, you
It's
know,
not enough to
it's
cover
still
what we
not
get
gonna
today.
up for what we receive right.
Yeah, in the workshop, the mayor went over that, like $14 million is at risk.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're gonna be losing.
Yes.
When
We
lids go away.
received three
That was covered in the
lits
workshop.
totaling $14 million. That is going away.
3 lids.
Please make sure you say it very clearly.
Again.
Yeah.
Yes, would you please?
We received 3 different types of local income tax currently. That totals about $14 million to the city revenues. By 2028, those lits those local income taxes as they exist are going away.
So that'll be next. I'll probably have that coming to the agenda beginning of the year for, because we gotta pass it for 2028.
Yes.
So we
That's
might as
why
well
we're
get it out
asking
the way.
for, ask the mayor about having a comprehensive local study.
On the lit.
study, Yeah,
Right.
to determine, give you guys a little bit of information, because it's gonna be really on you all to,
May I consider
Oh.
getting Baker Tilly to do like a workshop for us on just lit?
I'm gonna have them do the study first.
Okay.
Because, it'd be easier, because like we had they did the session for us in the county at the Civic, and it was very helpful. I mean, very helpful. I don't know if I want to pay them to come up here to do that. I can do it. I don't pay them to come up here to do that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Once they do the study though, and they show us, we need to find the presentation we did for them last year that talked about all the funds and what they are, and send that back out to the council. Because that gave a good explanation. We did that last March. So give that, and then, I think I have the one that they did for the county too. I'll send that one out as well. And then, we'll do the study, let them evaluate it. But we pretty much know how much it is. But they'll show us how much we're gonna get. If the county does what they're supposed to do and we do the max, they'll show us how much money we're gonna get and how much we're gonna be short. And what we're really short is about that $3 million.
3.7.
So, yeah, that's what we're gonna be short. In 2028.
Yeah, it makes more sense to have the study than for any workshop with us. 'Cause that's what we're gonna wanna know.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that also for Fund 2240, the lit public safety, that applies the same as well.
It's.
Yes.
Right now,
Yes.
currently, that's split.
No, I'm just saying as
Yeah.
regards, that it's all under, yes.
So those
Okay.
lits are public safety, economic development, what's the third one?
Gadget.
Just
Gadget.
certified share,
Certified shares
which
that
goes
you're.
into your general fund.
Okay, which is why it's not listed on.
Yep, that's correct.
Other than that, the recommendation is to accept the budget as presented for the lit. Opioid settlements unrestricted, page 127, 128.
Yeah, that's budgeted this year, and I talked about it in the workshop, because, the grant money, what page you saying?
127
127.
through 128.
So this is where we budget the police department social worker. And we get part of that money back as well through a grant with, in partnership with HealthLink. So we get a portion of that back. We have very few, we put supplies in this year, because we had our first annual walk, but there's gonna be some other preventative things that are happening. I'm trying to get to did we encumber? Trying to see where, oh, there's unrestricted and restricted, hold on, so let me make sure. So on the unrestricted side is where we have the social worker.
Correct.
And all her benefits and all of that. And when we get our reimbursement, it'll go back into this fund. So that's one thing. And then under other services and charges and other contractual services, that's print. We put supplies in here this year. And if you're going to get things printed and things for preventive, like for opioid prevention month and all that stuff, we kind of just stuck some money in there because we hadn't put any money in there before because we never used it. So we had to put something in the budget this year. On the restricted side, same thing. Small supplies, other supplies, printing and advertising, local grant share. We have $75,000. We didn't put the full amount. So I'm in the middle, I have a grant due on October 6th. So I'll be coming to the council. It's for a 2-year grant cycle though. It's a $150,000 match. So we need $75,000 in next year's budget and $75,000 in the following budget. But it's opioid money that's used for the match. It's through the Department of Mental Health Services, DMHS.
SAMHSA.
Yeah, whatever the state one is, DMHS, whatever. It's due October 6th though. And it's a $150,000 grant. We're going for the max. It's for preventative. So, so like for instance, the midnight basketball, there's some other things that, all that can be paid in this as a preventative way because you got youth and education. So there's anything that's preventative around opioid, Narcan, if we want Narcan vending machines, if we want, outreach in the community, if we want to give more training, like we did Narcan training here, all that stuff. I'm throwing the baby, throwing everything in.
Okay.
I'm throwing everything
Throw the
in.
baby out with the water.
I shouldn't have said that. Throwing it all, throwing it all
Put
in.
it all in the basket.
$150,000. It's a match. You have to use the opioid money to match it. So it's not coming from taxpayer dollars. And also we've signed on to another settlement. So we may be getting some more dollars in that I just recently submitted with Amber for some additional dollars. So we're gonna continue to chase those dollars as we can. But why not? So we're in the middle, I'm in the middle of that one. So that one is coming up here.
Where did we budget, like we do give grants to it, some local agencies, and is it in here?
No, that's in this year's budget. It's in this year's. So we'll carry it over till next year if we don't spend it all.
That's the 175.
That's the 175 you already appropriated.
Okay.
So those are the grants that are out now. Those are due on October the 15th.
Right.
So whatever we don't spend in that, we'll just carry it over
That
to
will
next
come
year.
back and it will add to the 175 we are putting for this year.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Are there any other comments or questions regarding this? If there are none, the recommendation from the Finance Committee is to accept the proposed budget as presented. I'd like to go back to the City Council budget on page 11. Dr. Corey, you were not present during that time, so we said that we will revisit that upon your return. In case you had any comments or concerns or recommendations.
I had brought up at the last council meeting about leaving our salary same as it was last year.
Okay.
Not going for that 2% increase.
Okay.
What was it, $50?
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay.
200 after.
So the recommendation, for city council is that, the 2% be removed and remain at the 2025 salary.
Okay.
Now, do we still need to
And-
bring an amendment to that?
You got to,
Yes.
it's an
The
amendment.
salary
Yeah.
ordinance.
Yeah, but you're gonna do that?
So should I send an
To Amber.
email to whom?
This is
Should I-
Amber,
Amber.
just to do your amendment for you.
And that is from Fund 1101, Department 104, line item number 1101.10, 4.411.013.
Mm-hmm.
Am I missing? I think that's it.
Yeah, that's so.
I was
So,
right-
Mr. Brown,
I want to make sure I didn't miss out anything. I would just, before we wrap up, I just want to thank all the department heads that came on this evening, and that everything went smoothly. And our next,
Are you canceling tomorrow?
the.
I vote yes.
I'm getting there. I had to pull up my calendar. So this is going to conclude and wrap up the council public workshop with the department heads. And the recommended date for September 25th, if there was a need for it, is canceled. There is no need for a part 2 of the budget. Next, we would have the budget workshop follow-up on September 30th.
I'm canceling that.
You're gonna, okay, that will be canceled, that information will be forthcoming. And then we will have second reading and public hearing on October 7th at the next council meeting. And if need be, we will have third reading on October 21st. However,
We will be.
You said if need be.
But no, but I had a follow-up behind that, which will be, I will be making a motion
Or asking somebody.
or asking someone to make a motion to indicate, there will be no, amendments or adjustments to the budget on third reading.
Take it all taken care of.
That it all has to be taken care of on next week, and I am requesting, unless, due to unforeseen circumstance arise, I need all council members in attendance, please. That will conclude the workshop. Thank you and have a good evening.
You.